guy that's down in the paint and does all of the dirty things, kind of like the utility guy, kind of like a Draymond Green, but way less of a player. But Bogut was definitely going to come in there, man, and help them do big things. And so they don't have Andrew Bogut, man. That's definitely a shot to their chances of winning a championship. I mean, in 58 seconds, it almost feels like, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and you see the title of today's show, it almost feels like the last year, after Game 4, that somebody, and maybe it's LeBron James, maybe it's Dan Gilbert, I don't know, somebody made some type of deal with the devil. Yeah. Somebody made a deal with the devil last year. They were down 3-1. People forget that. They were down 3-1 to supposedly one of the greatest basketball teams in basketball history. Last year, the Golden State Warriors beat the Bulls' record for wins in a regular season. So, yeah, statistically, you could make that statement and have, some information to back it up. And they were up 3-1. Home court advantage. And the Cleveland Cavaliers magically, mysteriously, somehow dug down deep, found enough fortitude to come back from 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors, who had just won the championship the year before. Somebody made a deal with the devil. Fast forward to this year, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Fast forward to this year, a lack of consistency. Chemistry has been a big issue. LeBron James squawking about getting another point guard and needing to add more pieces to the team so that they can try to make another run for a championship. And I'm not mad at LeBron for that, and I've talked about that. I'm not really mad at him for that because LeBron probably feels like he's at the end of his rope. He's probably got a couple more years at the level of play that he's exhibited over the last couple of seasons, and so he wants to win. I was never one of those people mad at LeBron for that. But, I mean, it seems like there's been a lot of controversy, a lot of uneasiness. Once again, chemistry issues with this team. They don't look as solid, and they've had injury issues as well that kind of lent to that. But it doesn't seem like that they're, that they're kind of off, kilter a little bit. And this just adds to it, man. They make this big signing, this free agency signing with Andrew Bogut, and he's not even going to be a part of the team come the playoffs. What are your thoughts? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Let me read a couple of messages in the chat room on Spreaker.com. From Thorny Switch, she says, especially around Halloween, you can find them all. Yes, sir. Frankenberry, Blueberry, Count Chocula. Yeah. So they're not around at all times of the year? Like you couldn't go in the grocery store right now and find it? I'm not sure. But I remember I bought a box of Blueberry a while back, and maybe it was during Halloween time or something like that. From the 47 Problem, Frosted Flakes, nothing beats Frosted Flakes. Let me look at my list here. I do have Frosted Flakes written down. I'll tell you later what spot it falls in or if it's honorable mention. One thing I'll say about Frosted Flakes in present day, life for me, the Doug Stewart Show, because my kids, I got young kids. My youngest daughter's 13 years old, so she's in middle school. So she still kind of eats the frosted, or the sugary cereals or whatever. So they're in the pantry a lot of times, and Frosted Flakes, I tasted some of the Frosted Flakes we had in the pantry at the house a while back. When I tell you that shit is sweet as hell. I don't remember it being that sweet as a kid. Like, it literally is like you biting into sugar cubes. It is. If you haven't had Frosted Flakes in a long time, man, you probably don't want to spend money to go get it, but if you're trying to run an experiment, get a box of Frosted Flakes. Tony the Tiger. They're great, all of that shit. And tell me if that thing ain't like just eating straight sugar. From Miss Mocha Bella, who ate Frankenberries. Talked about those earlier. From Loose Neck Side, I went to the House Party 3 at least 5 times at the theater back in 1994. I took the girlfriend, 2 side chicks, 2 others I was trying to smash. I had to act surprised every time. Yeah. That's funny. That's funny. Like, pretty much, you know those cult movies, like Rocky Horror Picture Show that white kids used to watch when we were growing up, like in our teens or whatever? There was a couple of cult movies like that. The closest thing to a cult movie for my generation back during those times probably were the House Party movies, because, I remember seeing House Party a couple of times in the theaters, probably around the same situations as Loose Neck Side talks about. But then another thing about House Party, man, is, like, they got a great production TV deal because at any time, at any time in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, you could turn on the TV, and whether it be TNT, TBS, or whatever movie channel, you would see House Party 1, 2, or 3 on. At any time. Yeah. So it kind of was like a cult-type movie where you saw over and over and over and over again. From Chucktown Frank, banana-flavored Frosted Flakes. I don't remember banana-flavored Frosted Flakes. Yeah. I don't remember banana-flavored Frosted Flakes. Maybe they only had that in James Island. From Leonard Nicky fan, still mad. My list begins and ends with Peanut Butter Crunch. Yeah, Captain Crunch kind of delved into a couple of different areas of cereal. I do like Captain Crunch, though, the peanut butter flavored. The problem with peanut butter flavored Captain Crunch is not everybody likes it. Like, it's not universal. Like, everybody doesn't like peanut butter flavored cereals. Peanut butter flavors are kind of extreme, if you ask me. From Redland, Loved Them Yams Kirk. There was 0% unemployment for the slaves, Ben Carson. Oh, I see what the Stewie's doing now. From Sluggo in the chat room on Spreaker.com, slaves had tremendous benefits package, Ben Carson. Yeah. From Al, we gonna be all right, Thompson. If the Heat is smart, they start talking or tanking to try to get into the lottery. Where are the Heat right now? You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Where are the Heat right now as far as the playoffs? I think they're right at the edge, 8th or 9th spot in getting into the playoffs. And based on the way they've been playing over the last couple of weeks, as I talk about 19 and 23 in their last 23 games, they might make a little bit of noise. I doubt they'll beat Cleveland in a 7-game series. Yeah, Miami is right now the 9th spot in the Eastern Conference with a 30-34 record. They're only a game and a half behind the Chicago Bulls for that 8th spot. And the Bulls have been struggling. Bulls 5-5 in their last 10. The Heat 6-4 in their last 10. But once again, over that 23-game stretch, the Heat have been playing great basketball. So, I don't know. I don't think they're going to do anything like that. From Grego X Squad, I like this Ben Carson Says challenge. Yeah. From Loose Neck Side, slaves had access to excellent health care and had a union rep on the slave ships, Ben Carson. From Thorny Switch, was Bogut really all that? I'm curious to know. I don't focus in on the NBA until the playoffs. Bogut, what I would say has been, I guess, a solid piece. That's the best way I can describe him as far as a team in the NBA. And he probably still has a little bit of cachet because, remember, Bogut was the first pick in the draft. And he's just hung around the NBA. He's kind of like a slight step ahead of what's the guy name that played for the Lakers? Kwame Brown. Like, people don't realize it, but Kwame Brown played in the NBA for like 11 years. And Andrew Bogut, the same thing. I guess he just doesn't come out there and make a bunch of bad, stupid mistakes. Andrew Bogut's been in the NBA since 2005. So you're talking 17, or I'm not 17. You're talking 12 years in the NBA. Not great. Definitely not great, but I guess solid because it seems like teams value him on their team. And there was this big thing about Bogut, getting picked up by the Cavs, and there were a couple of teams in the running trying to get Andrew Bogut. I didn't get it. I didn't get the love affair. But based on how much interest there seems to be in Andrew Bogut, whenever there's a trade deadline or free agency period starts, it seems like he gets a lot of conversation. So, technically I don't get it either, but I guess he just doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's one of those savvy veterans. That's the term that they throw out there with a cat like that. He may not be great, but he's not going to screw things up. He knows how to play the game, and especially for those foreign players, they always talk about their passing and their basketball IQ. I guess I don't get it either. From RC, nice win for Mocha's Heat, but the Cavs will still win the East. I agree. Nobody's going to beat the Cavs in 7 games in the Eastern Conference. From Montana Jones, Doug, you've been saying Bron at the end for the last 5 years. From that Ninja Thorny, he came out early in his career and said NBA players are only interested in buying cars and making babies, so the media will always have his back. Yeah, he's talking about Andrew Bogut. He said some other crazy, controversial stuff in his career as well. I can't remember, but yeah. Bogut said that. The thing about Bogut is Bogut married to a black chick? No, I think that's Dirk Nowitzki. I'm confusing my foreign players. But Bogut has said a couple of controversial, lightweight, borderline racial stuff. But NBA players, his teammates, don't seem to have a problem with him, which is very strange to me. But, yeah, I remember those comments. All right, when we get back from the break, man, I'll tell you what we'll do. It'll be hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. The show is flying by just like that. We've already went through an hour of the show. We got 2 hours left. It'll be hour number 2 later on. In hour number 2, we'll talk about some birthdays, entertainment. We'll have some fun with that. But we get back from the break, man. What I'm going to do is read chat and give you serial number 4. I'll give you serial number 4 on my list of top 5 sugary cereals of all times on the Doug Stewart Show. Tribute Tuesday. Kid and Play. Don't go away. Back in 3 minutes.
For a while now, and I've seen you go through ups and downs with other women, and you don't have to go through all that with me. Listen, I know you've been through your share of ups and downs, been taken round and round and still no love. I know you've been feeling like there's no one left out here to love. Well, I've been save the day, turn those dark nights into bright days, give you everything you've been missing lately. Back rubs, dinner cooked, I'll do it faithfully, baby, and I'll always stick by your side. No matter what, I'll be down to ride. All your problems are mine, cast all your fears to the side, and let me take my time to love. My whole